Health and wellness are more than a destination. They are a process and a journey of personal choice. Come hear from people out in the field, doing the work, bringing health and wellness to many. Welcome everybody. Here we are today with Lori Sein, and we're in a beautiful part of the Netherlands. It's a beautiful day. We're going to talk to her about her practice, which is really interesting. She's been an emotional therapist for over, I think, 23 years. She helps people heal on body, mind, and spirit level. She's amazing, and I'm so excited to get started. We are in the Netherlands in a wellness center. So, Lori, tell me a little bit about your background.
Okay. Gosh, where do you want me to start? I have quite a journey in my life.
Yeah.
And originally, the reason why I'm even here in Holland, I was guided step after step after step. My whole life, I've just kind of listened and watched for signs where I need to go next. What sparked my interest to what created my passion was when I was a school teacher in Pennsylvania in the 1980s. And I noticed what we were feeding the children was not feeding their soul. And it was offering tools, but it was not really feeding what the children need. And I noticed that in that time, that is when the Ritalin came on the market around the late 80s. When children were misbehaving, we needed, or it was sort of talked as in, hey, this is maybe an option to, these are our options, let the parents know this. And I'm like, and I had nightmares. I was having nightmares at least for 1 month straight or 2 months straight at that time of children like zombies, emotionless children. And I said, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this anymore. And that something happened in my soul, in my spirit to turn me around. And I could almost get emotional from it because it was so impactful that I said, I'm going to find a way to keep the children awake, no matter what. So then I left teaching. Everyone thought I was crazy. You know, I had one of the best teaching jobs in the best states, well paid, and I left. I said, I can't do this because of this passion. So I just woke up, and then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? And so I moved to the Florida Keys. And
nice place.
And a wonderful place. And that was where my guidance started there to connect with the dolphins at that time. And I just allowed myself to see what is going to come next. And I opened myself and I said, teach me. So one of my first teachers was Montauk Chia. And I ended up going to the Catskill Mountains and I saw him there and I learned that the organs have a soul, according to the Taoism. And I woke up. I said, yeah, this is what I want. Because I'd already started my master's degree in psychology, child psychology, and I've had a passion about child psychology, and I wanted to somehow connect the psychology with the body. And I said, I know there is something in this for me. So I started training, and I took kinesiology courses, and so this was all in the early 90s, and I found
you were ahead of your time. I think.
Yeah, when I was a school teacher, I was creating things in the classroom I was already having children work in group situations and work teamwork, and a lot of the things that I was doing was not really known yet. But I also felt I had another purpose, if you want to say, to keep going. So I needed to keep going on this learning and discovering what is in the body.
Yeah.
So I've taken one course after one course for all these years. And then by 1997, I had enough tools at that time behind me that I said, you know what, I'm going to start working with people. So I started in my first practice in hands-on healing. And I realized, God, I could see in the body. that was kind of interesting. I'm like, what's going on here? So I started but I noticed that became very draining for me after a while. So I stopped working because of the emotions were getting too much for me to see with people. And therefore I prayed. And after I prayed, the crystal bed came on my path.
So where were you at this time? Did you live still in the United States?
I was in the United States still.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and then the crystal bed eventually came on my path after I came to the Netherlands. So also I was guided here, and over the years things keep falling on my lap to show me why I'm here. And but anyway, so I went to Abadiana, Brazil, and made a connection there in 2004, and that was an amazing experience. So I was in Brazil. I was guided to return in 2005 to ask for permission to carry a crystal bed. And so some situations happened to help my soul, help my spirit line up with the crystal bed. And I brought it back to the Netherlands, and I've been working with the crystal bed since 2005. I've had over 5,000 clients, and not one story in the body has ever been the same, ever.
Wow. So what does that tell us?
Yeah, it's every person is so individual, and every person it's like a walking library.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And you get to see what is in there, and I love to guide people to show them what's in there. What are they made of? And the beautiful thing is when you can help people see what is inside, then they can make a better choice.
Yeah.
And when you can make a better choice, you feel, hey, I can do this myself, and you feel you start collecting your soul energy back to yourself. So you get really strong, and you say, I can do this. And this has become my passion. I love to help people get in complete alignment. So it started back with the children, but the children, so from the late 80s are now all in their 35, 40 years old.
Unbelievable.
Or 30, yeah.
Time flies.
Because I was 23 and they were 9, or whatever that math would be. But so I've just been working with the inner child.
Nice.
With all of my clients. And so
Can you tell me a little bit, for those who don't know, about the inner child?
Yeah.
What is an inner child?
Yeah. That is the living, our children, when we, from 0 to 7, we remember. Our system still remembers at a cell level everything that we've experienced, everything that we saw, everything that, it's like our eyes are the cameras to our soul, so we take pictures, okay? These pictures are stored into cellular memory. And so those first 7 years of our life are so vital because we are a sponge. We're absorbing all that information.
We're vulnerable, actually.
We're very vulnerable in that time.
Yeah.
And that creates some I almost want to say like a matrix or something around us or within us. So then we start the rest of our life, we see the world through this matrix.
Through this inner child.
Through this inner child.
Yeah.
And so therefore, what I do when I'm working with people is I'm listening to the story, talking to the inner child, and reading the soul at the same time to see, is this matching? So it's like the soul is here. We're all here to learn. We're at the school of Earth.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, we're in the school of Earth.
Yes.
So, and some people kind of lose the way, if you want to say, or they get like, what am I here for? So what I do is I read the soul, and I'm comparing, if you want to say, with what the inner child has been experiencing, and then see where the discrepancies are. Yeah. And every session, we make a match. I'm connecting inner child with soul. Because now when the inner child all of a sudden is heard, is seen, is acknowledged, is saying, you are loved, you are worth, wow.
Then things can change.
Things start shifting.
Yeah, so there's what I'm hearing from you is that this inner child during these first 7 years is like a recording. They record everything as pictures, some of which can be incongruent with their higher self.
Yes.
So they're not very, they feel very lost if this is injured.
Yeah.
If their inner child has injured or trauma.
Yes.
If they were not heard or seen or appreciated or loved.
Yes.
Then they cannot be in alignment with their higher self.
Yes.
So they come to you.
Yes.
And this is what you work on.
Yes.
Looking at body, mind, and spirit.
Yes.
Oh, it's so beautiful,
yes,
Lori.
Yes. And the results are that people feel their purpose. They vibrate their purpose.
Yeah. I can imagine.
After working with people, one session you feel a shift, but after working with people with multiple sessions, and I ask people to collect a journal, and then you start really recording, and you write down one session after the next and the next. You won't even recognize you were that way. That's how much shift your energy. When you start working with soul and inner child, you can help somebody shift, and they start getting complete flow with who they are, why they came here, and then you feel free.
Yeah,
you're like, yeah. And the reason I love to do this is because when one person is now free, can you imagine how many people that one person can affect?
Yes.
Especially if they have a business or are a business owner, and then they're now connected, and that energy is going.
It's moving.
It starts moving.
So you do a couple things. You are also a coach, a health coach, but you also have done this work of helping people make this shift, and that's more psychology and a therapy.
Yeah.
And so the difference, obviously, between a therapist and a coach is different.
Yeah.
The therapist is more, they're working on a deeper level and trauma and stuff, and a coach, it's not that deep. It's more an inner journey where the client drives what happens. But I find that so interesting so when you're working with someone as a coach, you have a different hat.
Yeah.
So how does that work for you to put the different hat on at a different time? How would you say that works? That's interesting.
When I am a therapist, I sort of need to guide the sessions in a way that is a little bit more, okay, we need to reach that point over there. So I have to keep helping people on this train track. But as a wellness coach, it is more, I'm asking the client, who also is now in that situation, what would you like? What do you think? So it's more, I'm not so much as strong as a therapist directing people on a certain path.
Yes, I see.
I'm allowing more space just to be, and let them sort it out themselves. How am I, in this situation? What do I want?
That's truly the power of coaching.
Yes.
Because when you get it yourself, you transform yourself.
Yeah.
So Lori, tell me a little bit more about the crystal bed itself. What is that therapy actually? What does the crystal bed do? And how does it help your clients?
The crystal bed is a futuristic machine, if you want to say.
Okay.
And there are 7 whole crystals that have been hand carved with a geometry, a shape. So you have 7 different shapes, and out of each of the 7, they're aligning with your 7 chakras. You have a color. So you have different colors that are the normal colors that are going with the chakras. So you have color and geometry that creates a frequency. That frequency is, it helps the body to start to move and it raises the frequency of the body so much that it starts to harmonize, heal, and actually clean. First it cleans up, and then it starts to repair. So it's detoxing. I also call it my detox machine.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's a detox and a repair
Nice.
machine.
Nice.
And it also, it's sort of like an X-ray machine, if you want to say. It literally helps me better to see through the body.
Wow.
And since I have this crystal bed machine, I never, ever get tired when I work with clients.
Amazing.
Never. So, and that was what I shared in the beginning. After working with people 97, I was like, oh, I was getting tired, because you're working with emotion and emerging so close with people that I said, there has to be another way. And this came on my path, and it was like almost as if I was given this gift to say, here you go, work with this. And I have so much help that I never get tired. I'm just an assistant working with the body, seeing what needs to be lifted in the frequency, in the organs, in the blood, in the bones, in the brain, whatever is needed, and then the body starts to harmonize.
So many people who are listening to this might not know all the things you know about the body, that the body actually vibrates and, you know, has strings and strands of DNA that are not, we think everything is so stationary, but when we really look in the body, it's not really stationary. It's always moving. It's funny. So when we get a little bit out of balance, basically we're having areas in the body, mind, and soul that are stagnated with energy, and then you get toxicity.
Yes.
So you can get toxicity from a lot of things, from bad relationships, from bad food, from stress, from all factors can influence us with this, right?
Yes.
So when people come to you, you're just saying, I have the ability to see those areas that are more blocked in people, and the crystal bed helps me to do that more clearly and not to get tired myself, because emotions are very draining, and especially when we listen to someone's story.
Yes.
Because we care, you know, we have empathy. So sort of, and that's funny, because our brain can actually tell the difference if we are doing something. They've proven this neuroscience-wise, that whether we're doing something or actually experiencing it.
Yeah.
So if we are thinking, if someone's telling us a story, we can go in and have a virtual experience, because they're sharing their story.
Yes.
So you have to get good at not doing that, not going down that bunny hole.
Yes.
But I find it interesting what you do with this crystal bed therapy for so many years, helping so many clients. It's so admirable, really. I so admire this. This is amazing.
Thanks.
Okay, so what kind of person, 5,000, over 5,000, but what kind of people have come to you all these years? In Holland, in this remote, where are we?
We're in Venhuizen, Holland.
I had to drive far to get here. Okay, I'm not in Amsterdam anymore. You know, Dorothy has moved. Okay, so where is it?
We're in Venhuizen, Netherlands.
So it's like north of Amsterdam.
Oh, we are next to Enkhuizen, north of Amsterdam, 1 hour north.
So how does an American girl get here? That's fun.
How did I end up here? Is I married a Dutch man.
Okay, and he lived here.
And no, he was in America at that time. And it was time for us to come. He came back for work here.
Okay.
And then I came with him.
To this village here.
Originally to the middle of Holland, and then after a while we moved up here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very much farm country. It's gorgeous
here. Yeah.
So, okay. So, Lori, who are your clients? 5,000. Who comes?
Anywhere from babies still in the belly of their mother, and that's when it's really fun to start getting and working with and seeing how even the baby's responding to the crystal bed.
Wow.
Activity. And
very interesting.
up to, I think my oldest client has been 95.
Wow. That's beautiful.
All ages.
Amazing.
Yep. And I also do help people to, when they're also at the end of their life.
Okay.
And to help make that closure. And to help, I'm talking to the soul then. We're reflecting. And so I do help people in that space.
Wonderful.
When it's time.
So when they're transitioning.
When they're in the transition space too.
Beautiful. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my job is about completion. It's to help people make that final completion.
Wonderful.
And that that their earth experience, that they've appreciated it. And if I can help bring people into appreciation for being here, that's so rewarding.
Yeah, because many times they
Yeah.
don't even know why they're here. They're lost and they're
Right.
feeling
Right.
kind of hopeless, actually.
Right.
And we're in a kind
Right.
of transformational time right now.
Yes.
So many people will be asking critical questions.
Yes.
Like, why am I here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I offer one-on-one sessions. Now I've been motivated since to start connecting with online, and that's worked well.
Great.
So there's still the same progress is happening with online, with the crystal bed online. I offer detox massage. Now I have, of course, not massage in this time, but I offer detox massage to help the body to release the toxins. I work with couples. I work with families. I'm looking at the system as a whole to see what's, because a lot of times I will get a woman complaining about her husband. Well,
Yeah.
that happens a lot, or her
Or
partner.
husband complaining about your wife.
but the men don't complain. It's more it's more the women saying.
Yeah.
But what I do is I invite both people in,
Oh, good.
and to encourage them to stay in their own energy, and encourage what they're learning from each other, and encourage this reflective process. And then, so by the end of a couple session, they're now taking full responsibility for their projections. And that's so nice to see couples starting to
Nice.
get back together with
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Wow, I can imagine
Yeah.
that really
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Because so
Yeah.
often it's communication breakdown.
Yes.
Because you can't understand the other,
Yeah.
and you've gotten mixed in
Yeah.
each other's energy and patterns. And
Yeah. And
Oh,
and
that's
then
beautiful.
going back to the inner child. Now, we all have here our package, if you want to say, from our first 7 years. And now you have your partner with their package. So now these packages are doing
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah.
So what I do is I help people see, and we go back
See
into
that,
the
yeah.
past and say, remember, okay, and the other one, and then they're going, oh, and they start getting that aha feeling inside. Oh, that's why he or she is saying this.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Interesting.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
So
they have more compassion.
Then they have more compassion for each other's story.
Very interesting.
So it's wonderful to work with couples too, and also with the family construct. So it's over the years, because my desire to learn, I've been educating myself so much. I just love to go to school. It's been a hobby.
Yeah, I understand.
So, and that's why we met. So
Yeah. Yeah, that helped, right?
that helped.
Oh, that's a gift for me, Lori, that I
Yeah.
met you.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So when you're helping the clients, you're helping them emotionally.
Yeah.
Do you have any other techniques you use when you're helping people with their with their emotions when they're out of balance?
Yes, yes. Holistic EFT, emotional freedom technique, has been very powerful, because that's
Tell me more about that.
yeah. The basically what I do is people come in with their story of the day. What they're coming in, and he said this, and the work problem did this, and so and I say it like this because here comes the emotion, and it's so and they feel it, or I'm blocked, and then they don't feel it, but they repress it. So we try to get it out. So then what we do is I say, okay, start talking. So I ask them to start talking, and I have a big board. I'm writing everything down on the board. So
Interesting.
they get to see what is out
Yeah.
of their mouth,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And then we use emotional freedom technique to start tapping these convictions. Absolute, this is my reality. I'm actually putting their current reality before this tapping.
So this is assuming that people understand that they create their reality with their beliefs, their words, and their emotions.
Not yet.
They don't get
They don't
that.
even get that yet.
No, but you're trying to show them
I'm
this.
trying to show them
Yeah.
that. So I'm showing them. So then I say, is this true? Is this okay? Yeah. Then we do the tapping. And then by the end of a tapping session, I need usually at least 1 hour, because we go pretty deep in the tapping, and we're going through the different acupressure points that are tapping around the body. And we're saying the different statements, and we're moving from these convictions to middle bit some other sentences that are a little bit of transition sentences that open the mind, like what if? And then we're bringing back in the positive. So then the whole cycle is turned around.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the session, I say, okay, now look at these sentences. And they're looking and they're like, I can't, they do not believe that they had that reality. And
Isn't
this
that
is in
interesting?
just 1 hour.
So you said holistic EFT.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
Holistic EFT is getting to use some of the other techniques that I learned over the last years, color therapy, breathing therapy. Let me see. Sometimes just whatever comes in the moment, silence, just to be silent in the moment.
So it's more holistic. It's
Yeah.
not just your food or it's not superficial. It's more like the whole, like where the body, the mind, and the emotion meet. So it could be a combination of all of it when it's holistic.
Well, during the tapping, EFT, emotional freedom techniques, is about you're touching a set of acupressure points, and then you're basically going around and you're stating convictions that you believe or feel. Okay, but during the holistic part, sometimes I feel, okay, right here we need to spend a little more time on this sentence or this conviction, so then I'll bring in some color, I'll bring in some breathing, or bring in some sound, or bring in silence. So, and then I'll ask the client to now, what do you see? And then we start tapping with their sentences.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's a combination. So holistic is bringing other modalities into the traditional EFT.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And you see that they really make this transformation quicker.
Yes.
When you do the EFT in this way.
Yes.
Wow, that's wonderful, Lori.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
So the EFT is one technique, and another technique I trained for breathing therapy years ago, and cranial sacral techniques also. So and massage. So I'm using different techniques, whatever tool is needed to reach the goal.
I'm hearing you say all the time, you can see in the body or you can see the emotions and the effect on the body, but you're obviously looking deeper than just what you see. So you're at the cellular level. Can you tell me, why is our health so dependent on our cells and the health of our cells?
Yeah. Well, we're made up of cells.
That's true.
Everything, we are a trillion, we're all cells. So if our cells are not healthy, then we're not healthy. We can't think healthy, we can't act healthy, we can't be healthy. And then, cellular health is about the cells do what we do. They drink, they exhaust, they excrete, they replicate, they move. So it's about really doing what we need to keep ourselves healthy, because what happens is it's more about preventative. Later down the line, all of a sudden, when you get a diagnosis of something and you didn't pay attention to all the signs before,
like the headache before,
Yeah.
the indigestion,
Yeah.
the body's always talking
the
to
body's
us. Yes.
always talking, and
Yeah.
it's really about, okay, now today I need to be aware that I need to keep my cells healthy today. So then you can stay incongruent. Your physical body is your vehicle here on Earth. You need to keep it healthy. And so cell health is vital.
I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well said.
Yeah.
I have one more question. So
Yeah.
what do you do? This is a wellness center here in the
Yeah.
middle of
Yeah.
Venhausen.
Venhausen. Yeah.
What do you do? What more services do you offer to your clients here?
Well, I was looking for this moment in my life this was my expansion moment, to find a place to welcome community. And I am all about groups working together, teams working together to make a difference, okay? this place came on my path and I said yes. The whole place is set up for teams, for groups. We have a beautiful kitchen where we're sitting now in. We can seat and feed 22 people. We can offer yoga, detox retreats. We have a big, I want to say it in Dutch, but room. We have a big room to, I want to say groepsruimte, a group's room.
Yeah.
That we can have activities and dance events and exercise events and example, a Native American, pure blood, a Native American coming soon here to hold a drumming session.
Nice.
And anything that keeps the soul alive,
Wonderful.
happy, connected. And then I want others to come in and offer their talents. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to start, this is the dream. I call it Wake Up Your Cells Community
Nice.
Center for soul and cell rejuvenation.
Nice. Very nice. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're excited to see the crystal bed, to see how you work with that. Let's go see that. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Hi, Willeke.
Hello.
It's nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
Cool.
Again.
Cool.
Can you help me with my terrible headaches? It's coming from my neck and it's really hurting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sure. Looking at your system. Have you been drinking enough water lately? Like about
Yeah.
2 liters a day?
Oh no, not yet.
That's the first thing that's coming up in me is that there is a deficiency in water in your system right now. And yeah. So what we're going to do after we pick some druppels, we're going to lay under the crystal lights. Okay. So the drops, if I want to say, the druppels in Dutch, the high frequency, they help to raise the frequency in the body of, and they give us a message also, maybe what's going on that may be causing the headache. So would you like to pick a druppel to make it? Okay.
One remedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just pick one anywhere you want, anywhere in this closet, wherever you're guided to go.
Monkey flower. Yay.
This is interesting because you picked emotional cleansing, and could be, but not sure, that maybe there is something that has happened recently in your week or in your life that's going on that could be causing some blockage back here in the back. If you can take one druppel of this and put it under your tongue.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is a flower remedy. So these flowers, it's a combination of flowers. This is going to start working in your energetic field. So this is an extra support before we start to work. And I'm going to put this the drops underneath the crystal bed. And if you could lay here on the bed. So I'm gonna put the lights on now. And you can either look at the lights or you can close your eyes, whatever you feel comfortable to do. And in a few minutes, you might start to feel your body relaxing. And naturally, people start to feel, they feel like a falling, like it's like, and sometimes people feel sleepy. So I don't know if you're gonna also get to that space in yourself. I'm just gonna, in a moment, put my hands under your neck. And naturally, people start to feel, they feel like a falling, like it's like, and now while you are laying here, how you doing? You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's very comfortable.
Okay. could you be aware of your feet? And this helps when you bring your energy down to the bottom of your body, it releases the pressure on the top of the body. So since you have that pressure build up there, we're going to kind of start by moving the energy down. And now could you become aware of your buttocks and your hips? Yeah, it's nice. You start to adjust yourself naturally. Can I put my hands under your head right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you open your eyes, please? So we are finished for today. Yeah.
Thank
Do
you.
you notice the rest?
Oh yeah, I'm all peaceful now.
Yeah.
And the headache is gone, so
Good,
thank
yeah,
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's sort of distributing right now the energy in the body. And this is also where the flower remedy helped in that moment. Good. Thanks
you.
for coming. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So thank you, Lori, for sharing all the great work you're doing. It was so amazing to listen to you. You're a wealth of knowledge. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for subscribing. Next month, we're going to talk to a cranial sacral therapist. So we look forward to seeing you next time.